In the last few minutes, a lot of these stocks have hit the low point of the day. So pick up a Grasim. That one has seen a sharp knock. Bharti Infratel, Bharti Airtel. The auto stocks, of course, have been under pressure since morning. But Maruti, which came out with their sales data yesterday, is seeing further pressure today, down about 2.8%. And Bajaj Twins, Kotak Mahindra Bank, as well as SBI, has also seen quite a bit of pressure in the last few minutes. So keep an eye on the markets. But one sector that has been making headlines today is auto stocks. Now, this on the back of a weak set of December sales number. Nimesh is here with more details on how did the numbers look like and what does this mean for the entire sector. Nimesh, over to you.
Well, there has been a YY growth for TVS Motors of 6%, but still it has not gone down well with the street. But I guess the biggest loser of the day today is clearly Eicher Motors. A clear disappointment in terms of monthly sales for Eicher Motors, especially for Royal Enfield. That's where the biggest disappointment was coming. So they reported a sales of 58,000 units, down good 13%, and way below Nomura's expectation of 70,000 units. So that's the biggest knock on the stock today, down good 7%. In fact, post the numbers, most of the brokerages, including Motilal Oswal, have cut down their volume estimates for FY19 and FY20, and also cut the EPS by between 6 to 9% for Eicher Motors. So that's been the biggest knock in the auto space. If you look at Ashok Leyland, Bajaj Auto, pretty much everyone has been on the disappointment side. So if you sum up, now that most of the numbers are out for December sales, what stood out for me was Bajaj Auto, despite slightly weaker than what Nomura was expecting. Still, Bajaj has reported 18% YOY growth in the monthly sales. So that's been a slightly positive. TVS, I guess, was slightly better than what others have reported. So they at least reported a 6% volume growth in December. And from yesterday's numbers, Escort was a bit of a positive surprise, given that even M&M's tractor sales were down. So they three stand out, but largely it's been a disappointment across the street, whether it's two-wheelers, four-wheelers, or for that matter, tractor manufacturers. In fact, post the numbers, Motilal has downgraded the EPS for both Maruti and Eicher Motors big time. So clearly this is not gone down well with the street, with the biggest disappointment coming from Eicher Motors.
Okay, Nimesh, thanks very much for that. I just want to highlight Nifty, which is down 154 points. So I think that would bring us to, I guess the day's low, 10,749 is the low. So we're actually at about 10,758. Not quite at the low, but 8-9 points here and there. So this is a weak session that we're seeing coming through. Let's stick with the auto story. We spoke with the managements at Mahindra & Mahindra and Bajaj Auto on what their perspective is as far as the demand situation is concerned in the fourth quarter. Listen in.
January, February, March should see sort of true reflection of where the demand is. I would not say that there has not been some softening of sentiment, some softening of demand. There has been. But I think it's all led simply by what happened in October and September because of everything kind of being wrong at that time. The interest rates, the exchange rate, the oil prices, commodity prices, and I think that's what we are seeing in November, December also. And therefore, I would expect some turnaround in January, February, March. Though, I must admit that last year, January, February, March was a very high base. And therefore, to get a significant increase from last year will be a reasonably difficult thing to do.
The domestic commercial vehicles, you see a decline because you see last December was a little bit of a bumper month because there was a significant release of permits in Mumbai. And in Mumbai market, we have like a 95-96% market share. So you're seeing the base effect. But we are not at all concerned about any slowdown in the CV domestic business for January and February, March. I think that we should start to see slightly better numbers, growth numbers for the domestic motorcycles industry.
Okay, 140 points lower on the Nifty. Let's take stock of a few stocks which are actually moving around. Sonal is here with that list. Sonal.
Hi, good afternoon, Prashant. Thanks a lot for that. And I'll start with VST Tillers. Nimesh already spoke about auto sales that were quite disappointing. And VST Tillers also reported very weak auto sales. The power tiller sales have declined by around 55% on a YOY basis. And tractor sales, they also are not very impressive, very flat on a YOY basis at 600 units. Chambal Fertilizers, on the other hand, is buzzing in trade today because the company has informed the exchanges that they have commenced commercial production from one of their plants and they will be producing urea with a capacity of 1.34 million metric tons, something that's very, very positive for the company. IOL Chemicals is buzzing on the back of a rating upgrade that is coming from ICRA, so from CARE, and they have actually revised both their long-term and short-term ratings. So that is very positive for the company. Coal India is sulking in trade today. That is because their December coal production has come in lower. Not only that, their offtake also is lower by 1.2%, something that the street definitely is not liking. Jet Airways is sulking in trade today. That is because the interest and principal installment payment due to their lenders on 31st of December has been delayed. Also, they have received a rating downgrade from CARE, something that is not doing very well for the stock. Apart from that, in the broader markets, there are certain stocks that are buzzing in trade today, the likes of Kohinoor Foods, Ramco Cements, SL Propack and Godrej Properties. On the downside, there are some real estate stocks, the likes of DLF, Kolte Patil and Brigade Enterprises that are not doing so well in trade today.
Thank you, Sonal, for that. But keep an eye out on the markets as well, because the Dow futures indicate a downtick of 460 points. The CAC as well is down about 2.6%. And if you look at the FTSE right now, sitting with a cuff of around 2%. So the global weakness really persisting in the equities around the world.